the improvements on their road networks, drainage system, and water and power if necessary, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, next year will be you'll be allocating 6.2 billion for community mortgage program.
Obviously, we don't have that much anymore, Mr. Chair, considering that the NEP given to us is only 166 million, of which 90 million is for CMP.
90 million lang for CMP?
Right, Mr. Chair. Fortunately, this suit is helping us for this year just to be able to roll out the initial CMP applications that were submitted to us, Mr. Chair.
Yeah. Yung 90 million will come from national government subsidy, but I think your internally generated your corporate funds will fund 6.2 billion in terms of...
Yung collection po natin is only 1.5 billion a year. That includes collection from our receivables plus yung interest income natin. Yung business income natin comes mainly from the interest from these receivables from our CMP.
Kumusta yung collection natin sa CMP? How much is the collectible?
Mr. Chair, yung current accounts namin, pumapalo siya ng more than 99%. But yung cumulative, including those problematic accounts, mga about 70%, Mr. Chair.
So total, yung mga problematic is about 70%.
Unti-unti na po namin pong na-address na yung problem dyan sa we created a special unit that will address all of these problematic accounts, Mr. Chair.
Yeah. Well, one model rin, Secretary, to consider is engaging the LGUs. But not all LGUs are created equal. Iba-ibang LGUs. No? Masasabi ko lang sa amin because we take shelter and housing very seriously. In fact, we have a dedicated office for housing. And one of the things that we work with the KSAs, the key shelter agencies, is to allow the LGUs to be the collecting agent, and the tawag ni Secretary Rex, tawag niya doon, property manager, parang property manager, because yung LGU may stake kami doon sa housing pag maayos yung housing, mas tahimik yung housing, mas mas gusto natin kasi walang problema. So making sure that the housing project is paying its dues and also maintained well is also to the interest of the local government units. At napansin ko, mas takot sila magkaroon ng utang sa mayor kaysa kay President Laksa. Kasi hindi nila nakikita si President Laksa, si mayor nakikita nila araw-araw. So one of the models that we I think we had an engagement with NHA and SHAPSI is to allow the local government to collect, and then pag na-collect, kung anong due sa SHAPSI ibigay, kung anong due sa LGU di ibigay kasi may land component para wala ring sakit ang ulo yung national agency. Mahirap mangolekta. In fact, I remember yung first Northville during that time, iba pa yung administration, HADSI pa at that time, problematic talaga sila mangolekta bahay-bahay. In fact, I remember gumawa sila ng office doon at araw-araw nangongolekta sila ng 200 pesos per house. That's not the job of the national agencies anymore. Dapat ang national agencies policy na lang yung mga ganyan na bahay-bahay collection, LGUs nilang ang magtrabaho. Total, araw-araw naman nandun ang LGU.
Yeah, actually, Mr. Chair, hindi lang sa CMP, we already started coordinating with some LGUs to sa rental modality. So, ang concepts, itatayo yung housing dun sa property ng LGU, and then pag naitayo, it will be turned over to LGU for estate management. Sila na yung
estate management ang tawag ni Sec Rex, I remember, when he was the mayor.
Yun po yung natin, tinitingnang modality.
Kasi like sa amin, In fact, yung mga Northville projects, yung mga disiplina projects, ang gusto natin parating maayos eh. But I realize na ang tao mas natatakot at rinirespeto yung local officials kasi sila ang nandun araw-araw eh. So if there's an arrangement that will empower the local government units to do the estate management, even the collection through a MOA, I think that will be a good model for, para hindi rin kayo sakit ang ulo kasi
That's the intention, Mr. Chair. In fact, we have one rental facility to be started na, yung sa University of the Philippines. So, ganoon din, itatayo natin yung walk-up buildings, and then it will be turned over to UP, and then they will be the one to do the estate management, including collection.
no. And then i-remit na lang sa inyo kung anong
Actually, dito
collection.
hindi na i-remit kasi using escrow fund. So, pang estate management talaga.
Kapag ano na lang nila. Mas maganda yon, mas maganda. Yeah, but not all LGUs are created equal. I know some LGUs probably don't like the headaches, but sa amin kasi we don't like the headaches ng magulo. No, and the only way to do that is to have certain say in the estate management and collection.
Yes, that's correct, Mr. Chair.
So I'll go to National Home Mortgage Finance. There's also a request here for 450 million.
No, that's only 400,000.
400,000. Alam niyo, yung oras niyo, mas maganda pa na sa office para pumunta kayo dito humingi ng 400,000.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
Sayang,
all right.
sayang yung executive time.
Yeah,
Oo.
we can
Kaya nga
do that.
nagkamali ako dito, parang 450, akala ko
Yeah.
nagkamali yung staff eh.
Actually, our contribution to of our retainer is
Bakit president kayo pupunta dito for 450,000? Dapat,
I'm here to support our secretary to make sure that we're here.
I don't know if I should ask pa about 450,000, but saan magagamitin yung 450,000?
You really don't need to ask.
Oo nga, parang, oo. No, but to be honest about it, rini-review namin, there's a, alam ng mga ano ito, ng LBMO, meron account called budgetary support to government corporations, and we're rationalizing because there's a lot of government corporations na maganda yung performance, no? But minsan nagtataka ko, bakit pa sila pupunta dito to ask for subsidies, no? If they can carry it on their own account. Kagaya nito, na 450,000 lang, no? Parang
Our contribution to the treasury this year from our retained earning is 377 million from our.
Yes.
So, yes, you're right. Our EBITDA is pretty efficient.
Yeah, your profit before subsidies about 1.1 billion. Eh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, how much dividends do you remit?
Just as I just said, we contributed 377 million.
Million in dividends
Yes,
to national government. All right. And so far, how many units have you financed?
For this year, we're rather slow because we are really focusing on other financial institutions instead of directly. Well, we're in the business of buying
Yeah.
mortgages so that we unfreeze mortgages which are 30 years. So we unfreeze that and we put it into, and then we put it into securities and we sell the securities to the private sector. So the private sector invests in the housing industry. Basically, that's our business model.
But how many?
So this year, we've been
But
rather
total?
slow because we've shifted our focus from purchasing directly from developers, but directly from financial institutions. Though we still continue to purchase mortgages from developers.
But how many in terms of number of units? How
Yeah,
much have you how much is in your portfolio right now? Because you buy mortgages, diba? And then may mga housing units yun eh, mga mortgage. So how many units in your inventory of mortgages?
Well, for the past 3 years, it's about only 800.
800 units?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. That's why we'd like to focus ourselves on the financial institutions. Like other financial institutions might give us 1,500. I think we're looking at. Yeah, if it pushes through.
Okay. And then the mortgage that you purchase are which income, which
Socialized
type of
and
housing?
economic.
socialized and economic
Yeah,
housing? Okay. And then they pay directly to you, itong mga homeowners, the owners of the units.
Yeah.
They pay directly to the National Home Mortgage.
Yeah. In the end, we take over the buyer's financing, and therefore we actually do the collection.
You do the collection.
Yeah,
Diretso
right.
na sa National Home Mortgage.
And
So itong 800, they pay directly to you.
right. Right.
How is the collection rate of this 800?
There are two parts of our receivables. The first part is the Unified Home Lending that was stopped in 2010, 2009, right? So that we are experiencing a very low collection rate, but since we launched our program of housing loans receivables 2009, our collection rate for those receivables are 85%. Yes.
Taas rin ha, 85%.
Yes. Yeah. But the advantage of the Unified Home Lending, because they're pretty old real estate mortgages, like they're probably about 25 years old or maybe 30-year-old, the value of the underlying asset there, the land, has actually increased by maybe 10 times, 20 times.
I saw here in my refer that in 2024 and 2025, the number of units that you are buying declined.
Yes.
How come it declined for 2024, 2025?
Well, firstly, we implemented our policies strictly, and secondly, we felt that the opportunities lie in the real estate mortgages that are existing in other financial institutions rather than developers, right? So that's the reason why it's so.
Okay, from here in my notes, 2,170 finance units in 2023, and then only 27 units
Correct.
in 2025.
That's correct.
But you buy from government financial institutions
We buy from government and private sector.
and private sector.
And private.
Only banks? Only banks or developers as well? In-house financing ng developers?
Prior, it was basically developers, but now we're looking at financial institutions such as government, private banks, even other financing institutions such as savings associations, right, cooperatives.
But in the past, it's only, nakita ko dito sa programs ninyo, it's mostly, for example, itong Housing Loan Receivable Purchase Program, originators, government agencies, developers, financial institutions, home financing institutions.
Yes, yes.
So these are the target. And then you also buy from developers. Kasi in developers, may in-house financing sila eh. You also buy from them?
If they care to sell.
Okay. I'm sure they will, no? Kasi parang capital na yan eh.
Sometimes they don't care to sell.
Okay. Baka yung mga mayayaman, mga Ayala, mga ganun. Pero I think yung mga...
Even in the socialized and economic housing,
really?
it turns out that the developers there's a tendency for them to hang on to their...
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. But you have bought from developers
In the past,
in the
yes,
past.
in the
Okay,
past, in the
all right.
past.
Okay. And then in 2026, I saw here in your target is you plan to purchase around 2,219.
Yes.
That's the target.
Yes, currently talking to the other financial institutions, that's the kind of numbers that we're getting. We
Okay.
hope that we push through with our targets.
All right. And that will inject liquidity into.
No, yeah. Well, the
the-
concept is basically to bring in private investment into housing.
I hear-
Instead of, it's just like the treasury bonds. People are purchasing treasury bonds very quickly. The retail treasury bonds are very strong. We'd like to have a housing bond that's just as strong as the treasury bills.
But you have issued your housing bond. Naka-issue na kayo in the past.
Oh yes, every year. Bonds, yes. This year?
So hindi nyo na
This
kailangan
September,
talaga yung 400,000. Mag-issue na lang kayo ng bond. No? Sayang.
Yeah, this year we've issued roughly about...
Pahiramin na lang kayo ni Secretary ng
1.5.
400,000.
We're targeting maybe about 2 to maybe 3 billion by the end of this year. It's heavily regulated. We talked to a lot of other financial institutions to give us their okay. But if we're able to turn around rather quickly, we might reach about 2 or 2 plus billion.
What is the outstanding bond issuance right now? How much bonds have you
The total.
issued?
Roughly 10, 15, 10
Billion?
to 12. Yeah, right. Yeah. Since the time we started.
10 to 12 billion.
Yeah, right.
And then
Outstanding.
Yeah, outstanding.
Yeah,
This 10
right.
to 12 billion was used to buy all of these mortgages.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And then the homeowners
Right. Yeah, right.
pay you, and then you pay the coupon of those bonds.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Well, we're actually the Fannie Mae of the
Yeah.
Philippines. Yeah, right.
Okay.
Now, people have advised us, the investment bankers advise us to make a dent in the market. We should be issuing about 5 billion a year.
5 billion
sort
a year.
of. Yeah, so that's a target that we'd like to see, so that these capital markets can grow. The capital markets investment in housing can grow.
How is it, Secretary, yung activity ng National Home Mortgage? How does it play into the housing strategy of DSUD? Kasi meron ng 4Ps, how do I call this? Reform 4Ps, expanded 4PH. How does it connect?
Mr. Chair, they're basically provide liquidity in our market. As many of our borrowers or developers eventually will realize they could not wait until 30 years for the beneficiaries to pay them. So they need to be able to replenish that money, and HMFC are able to buy the receivables. Doon po nagkakaroon ng refresh yung funding ng mga developers to do more projects. Yun po ang tulong ng National Home Mortgage Finance Corporation.
Policy point of view, I would assume that ang DSUD ba sits as the chairman of the
Yes, Mr. Chair.
National Home Mortgage?
Yes.
Oo.
Yes.
So
Yes, our chair.
if the target is to finance 1.3 million homes, largely from informal settler communities as well as low income, yun ang dapat tina-target nilang portfolio na binibili, di ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair. The idea is to get as many developers to do projects and then to transfer the receivables to
Yes.
National Home. So that in
But
turn,
not the upper, let's say, hindi naman receivables, let's say, ng mga upper middle. Mostly, kasi
generally
ang
they're
backlog
targeting
nandito,
po socialized housing.
socialized housing.
Socialized housing po.
Socialized.
Socialized, okay. Is this socialized housing,
Socialized to economic housing.
is that considered a high-risk portfolio?
Yes, but if you blend it in the asset pool and
You lower the risk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Then you lower the risks because anyway there's many accounts with
Correct.
small amounts,
Yeah.
so the risks is spread out.
But the accounts is only 2,000, tama ba? 2,000 units? Therefore, that's 2,000 accounts?
Yeah, the last issuance is 1,500 accounts, which totaled to about 1.5 billion.
But yung
Right. So,
number of...
so that's roughly, let's say, 1,000 accounts spread out.
When you say accounts, yan yung may-ari ng bahay.
Yes, yes,
Oo.
yes, yes,
Oo.
yes.
So ngayon may mga 2,000 something, 2,000 plus accounts under your portfolio. Tama?
Actually, actually we have more, but right now we have 2,500 that we could still issue bonds against.
Okay.
Yeah. But we actually have much more. About 67,000 accounts.
6 to 7,000 accounts.
Right.
Can we ask also, may ba tayong parang annual report? Hingi na lang kami ng annual report from all the KSPs.
Oh yes, of course.
So that we can we'll have some information about your operations.
We will comply, Mr. Chair.
Secretary. Ano na lang, request also a formal letter doon sa wish list na binanggit nyo kanina, so that to be part of our kasi what we're doing is we collate all the wish list and then we manage where to get the funds. So padala na lang kami ng official letter.
We will submit an official letter.
All right. Okay. I don't have any more questions. No, so there being no further questions, the budget of the Department of Housing, Settlements and Urban Development and its attached agencies and corporations, namely HAC, NHMFC, NHA, and SHFC, is now deemed submitted for plenary's consideration, subject to the discussion and the submission of documents requested. All right, thank you. Thank you, Secretary.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Session suspended.